So I want to talk here about the three phases of local SEO. So the first phase is basically the core 30. We'll talk about that in a future lesson. Once you're done with the core 30, the second phase we move on to is topical relevance. And the third and final phase is to build geographic relevance. Now, it's important to note that for most businesses in most cities, you probably will be ranked really well in the top 3 over a pretty wide area just doing the core 30. In fact, for most of our clients, we don't even finish the core 30 before we're ranked really well. So this 3-phase process, sometimes you need all 3, sometimes you just need the first one, sometimes you need the first and second one. So it really depends what the local rank map is telling you. So when I say the core 30, you'll hear this phrase a lot. What I mean by that is a article, a URL for every category and every service on your Google Business profile. So for each one of those, we want the target keyword to be that category or service plus the city name. Water heater replacement Houston is the example. Water heater replacement is a GBP service. It's not a category. So if we had that on the website for a plumber in Houston, we would make sure to build a page for water heater replacement Houston, water heater replacement being the services. So then we'll, of course, add a page for the About Us, for the Contact Us. If we have 20 or 30 services, 3 or 4 categories, the About Us, Contact Us, that's where the name Core 30 comes from. Every single URL you create will need an external link source to it. Again, I will talk more detail about finding external links in a later lesson. This is just a heads up that you will need an external link for every URL. The way you structure internal linking is also important. Again, that will be covered at a future lesson about the Core 30. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this one, make sure you're watching your rank map. Get your rank map set up and keep an eye on it as you're building out the core 30. Most local businesses will be ranked in the top 3 before you even finish the core 30. When that happens, when you see a rank map turn all green, then you're basically done. You go ahead and shift to start producing geographic relevance only for regions where the dot has turned to 4 or lower, then produce a geographic topic about where that dot is and move on. Okay, so let's talk about phase 2. So this is, you're done with phase 1. You've done all, every service, every category has a URL. You've sourced links to those URLs, and you're not quite there yet. Your rank map doesn't look great, and I'll show you some examples of what I mean by that more specifically, but if your rank map doesn't have about a third of it green, that's a sign that you need more topical relevance. So the way that we're going to build topical relevance is we'll add FAQ sections, and we will answer semantically relevant people also ask questions in 50 to 100 words, and then we'll write a long form answer for that same topic, link to it in that paragraph with 50 to 100 words. So the reason I say semantically relevant, we used to just take the people also ask questions and use them as subheadings word for word. We don't really do that anymore. After ChatGPT became super popular, several tools came out that basically scraped the people also ask questions and had AI generated answers that were automatically added, just producing a ton of AI slop. So we don't do exact match people also ask. Instead, we'll grab that people also ask question, we'll give it to AI like Claude, and we'll ask Claude to give a semantically relevant rewrite of that people also ask question. Semantically relevant is important to make sure Google knows that the new question is the same as the old one, but we just want to have it rewritten so it's not word for word the same people also ask. Okay, so at the bottom of whatever page you're building topical relevance for, often the home page, you're going to have a people also ask section about plumbers, for example. You'll have maybe 10, 20, 30 questions, depending on how much topical relevance you need. And each one of those questions, you'll have 50 to 100 words to answer it shortly. And then in that paragraph, the 50 to 100 words, you're going to link to a long form, deeper answer. And that long form, deeper answer will link back up to whatever page you're supporting. And remember, one link to every URL still counts. So every page you build for topical relevance, you still need to source a link to that page. This is an example of what a rank map would look like when you need more topical relevance. There's no good ranking here, right? Even right on the center of the rank map, we aren't in the top 3. We just don't have topical relevance yet. Google doesn't trust this GBP to provide the services that we searched for that generated this rank map. Or in the top 3, nowhere, we need more topical relevance. Now, this is an example of what a rank map would look like when we have topical relevance and we're going to move on to building geographic relevance. You can see there's a lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s. That's a sign that Google trusts this GBP to provide this service, but Google doesn't know that we can provide this service all the way out here, right? So we need to convince Google that we do service this entire geography. So now we're talking about phase 3. Now, most engagements that we do is core 30 and then going to be done. The ones that we don't see all green in the core 30 will typically go from phase 1, core 30, and then straight into geographic relevance. Having to build additional topical relevance is unusual. That's likely a sign that you have a personal injury attorney or you're trying to rank something in Houston. So most of the time you don't need to worry about the additional topical relevance. Most of the time you'll jump into the geographic relevance after the core 30, assuming the core 30 wasn't enough. So basically what we do is we're going to look at that rank map and we're going to find locations on that rank map that are 4, 5, or 6. Then we're going to find a geographical landmark near that dot, a neighborhood name, a park name, an intersection, anything that we can find. There's an AI prompt that we'll go over later that will have AI help you locate these geographical landmarks. Then we're going to write content targeting that primary category or whatever we're trying to rank and the geographic landmark. So for example, if this was your rank map for Plummer Houston, I can see a 4 right here. I mean, this is Washington, D.C. So if this is your rank map for Washington, D.C., say we're going to start with this 5 and we're going to write an article targeting a geographical landmark near that number 5, targeted Plummer geographical landmark, right? So the example here is something like water heater replacement River Oaks or water heater replacement I-10 and 610 interchange if you're in Houston. And again, we have the AI prompts that will help you write the content with those target keywords in mind.